And we have our special guest.
Hello.
Ffion.
Welcome.
Hello.
And she's got her cuppa. All good.
Yes, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Well, for our newsletter readers and for our podcast listeners, could you please tell us what you do, who you are, what you do, and where you are?
Cilla Black.
Yeah, yeah.
So my name is Ffion. I am a nail tech. I'm also a primary school teacher. I live up in North Wales with my husband and my 2 boys. And yeah, quite a busy person.
Yeah, quite.
So
And you're in your own business, which is?
Ciwticwls. My own business is called Ciwticwls, which is a nail salon.
Amazing. So now all of that in Welsh, please, just because we don't want to alienate all our beautiful Welsh listeners.
Felly, fy enw fi yw Ffion Jones, dwi'n byw yn Gogledd Cymru, dwi'n byw hefo fy ngŵr a 2 o blant, Griff a Caio, a dwi'n rhedeg busnes ewinedd a harddwch o adra.
Amazing.
Do you know what?
So cool.
I love it. I love it. You know, we look, I think it's one of the things we say about this podcast, like, we are a Welsh business and we're really proud of that, but of course I am not Welsh in any way, shape or form. Emma also. So it's really important to me that when we get the opportunity, we get that we bring out like the authentic Wales. It's fantastic. Thank you, Ffion.
Thank you for humouring us.
No problem.
So where's the best place for us to find your services? Where do you like to guide people when they want to get in touch with you?
So usually people get in touch with me through my Instagram or my Facebook page. I do have a booking system that's linked to my pages that people can book themselves, check what availability I have, what appointments they want. But I'm always sort of at the end of the line if anybody has any questions or what they want to book or which treatment goes with what. So yeah, it's all about the socials really at the moment. I'm in the process of developing my website, as Jess knows.
Excellent.
But yeah, in the process is the word.
There's always something going on, isn't there? There's always a project to do. Oh, that's really cool. Well, we will have the links on our website, so just so that people know where you are, which is brilliant. Thank you for that.
And of course, you're in Bangor or just outside of Bangor? Is
just
that right?
Outside of Bangor, so I'm nearer to a village called Bethesda, which is where I grew up. Just a small village where everybody knows everybody.
Oh,
you've got a nice community going on there then.
It is. It's a lovely community, because if ever anything happens within the community or something's going on, the community backs you, sort of thing. So yeah, no, it's a loved growing up here.
I love that. That's how it should be.
Yeah,
I think
it's missing from a lot of areas, but I think the one thing I still find about Wales is that, well, even in South Wales, there's still that community element there, which you don't get in many places. And I grew up in Yorkshire, and even there, actually, there is that community outside of the cities that you have, which is really nice. And I think for business, especially for promoting your business and getting your brand out, it's a really important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
So,
well, I was actually on your Instagram. I had a little sneaky peek, and honestly, I love manicures anyway. I don't get them done enough, but I like to do my nails, but I would prefer for somebody else to do them.
They're a nice treat.
Obviously the French manicure and the tips are just spot on, and I saw some of your reels as well. They were incredible. Now I was wondering, what's your favorite design to do and why?
I think it is the French.
Is it?
So yeah, reason being, years ago, if anybody would ask me for French, I would have probably run a mile. Or I'd always go, okay, but how about glitter?
Yeah.
I always used to offer everybody glitter because I found it the easiest nail trend that was about, and you could sort of chuck it on and it would look perfectly fine, even if there was a few minor hiccups along the way. But by now, I think I've perfected my skill a bit now with having more experience. I just love the crispness of a French.
Yes, really crisp. It's like, it's so fine, isn't it?
Whereas,
how do you do it? Like, so many people have different ways of doing it, don't they?
Freehand, drawing freehand.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
used to try and.
For those people who we're recording this on Zoom, so there will be a video of this available. When Ffion said she does it freehand, my face was just like,
I know. I mean, that is hard to do, isn't it?
I can't draw a straight line without a ruler, so to do.
I get days where I can't draw a straight line. I do, and I have had incidents before where I've had a client come in and had French done, and then the next client has come in and asked for French, and I just could not do it for some reason. But 9 times out of 10, yeah, I can do it, and it is just the experience and the practicing of it. Because, like I say, a few years back, if you'd have asked me for French, I would have probably cried, and I would have probably lost sleep over it, because I just would have told myself those lines, or the smile line is just not crisp enough. But yeah, no, I do love a French now, because it's just classic, isn't it?
It is. It's really classy, and any age can wear it.
Yeah, it looks good, and it looks good on any hand. Like, okay, this is going to sound really stupid. It's a bit like off topic. I always find that certain people can wear certain colours or certain styles better than others.
That's true. That's true. I can never pull red off. Cannot pull red off.
No, I mean, I'm the same. Like, I that's a story for another day. But I think, like, I think a French manicure or a French style paint, like, it suits everybody. It is classic. It really is.
Yeah, it's timeless, isn't it?
It is.
I'm sorry for anyone out there that doesn't like getting their nails done. We will move on, and we will continue with questions that are
This is the crux of Fion's business, we have to understand what she enjoys, what makes her passionate about what she does. And a French manicure, man alive.
I was just about to say, Fion is passionate about the French tip. It's brilliant. It's good, and I love it. I love it when I see it done perfectly. So it's Do you know what? I really need my nails done soon.
I have to take a trip.
It's like, you know where I am.
Yeah, I was going to say. For that freehand French tip, why not?
I know.
Honestly. Okay, so going into the nitty-gritty then of business, right? So we're all having challenges in business. I think especially in this day and age now, with cost of living and various other things, everybody's experiencing something. But is there anything that you're finding particularly challenging in your business right now?
Right now, I'd say it's the time we're living in. So it's the retaining your clients, so to speak. Obviously, you feel like you've got your OGs, that people that have been with you since day one, and that would probably make. Well, I had a client last night tell me that it would be beans on toast to make sure that she gets her nails done.
I love that.
But yeah. So it's probably the times that we live in, because I have had clients since Christmas that I probably haven't seen. Which happens. You can't judge anybody's situation, and I'm the same. I've had to cut places in different areas, or where can I cut back on this, that, and the other. So more than anything, it's probably the times that we're living in now. But also, people do tend to treat themselves in a way of self-care is important.
Yeah.
So they do say, a lot of my clients is like, this is my hour, this is what I get every month. I work hard, so why not get something for it, sort of thing.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, Ffion, I think that's a really important point, because one of the things I've written into my schedule recently is to take an hour out every night for some form of self-care, right? Because I don't get it otherwise. Like, it doesn't happen. And that could just literally be having an hour of silence without anyone around me, or reading a chapter of a book. But I think that's really important, the fact that we do work hard. If at all we can stretch it, like getting our nails done, getting a facial, getting a massage, just going out and having a bite to eat or something that just takes us out of all the stress that we're living in. I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely, because it's just reining it into what matters to you. And if you've got something that makes you happy, then use it. Give yourself that hour, or just tell yourself, I'm gonna book that in once a month. And it's lovely, because I was talking about this morning, actually, when I had my son in baby gym. Well, both my boys were with me today, but talking to other mums and just saying they find it like therapy in a way. So you get to know a lot about the person's life as they do with me. I see the highs and lows of their lives, like going through different things, successions and losses. So yeah, you do form quite a personal bond with every single person that sits in your chair.
Yeah, that's a good point as well, because one of the things I always remember somebody saying to me when I had my nails done, like the question they asked me was, "Are you going through a bit of a difficult time?" And I was like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And they're like, "It comes out in your nails. Like I can see it in your actual cuticles, and the fact that your nails are thin." I suppose in some ways you're not a beauty therapist doesn't quite sum up what you do. You know, you're a nail. Then that idea of being a nail technician involves the health of a nail, but also then the health of a person, because
it does. Yeah,
you know what's going on in a person's life and how it's reacting with their body, and then you're able to give them kind of some comfort and some femininity, I suppose, to some degree when they're going through a really tough time.
Definitely, and I find it such a personal experience for me as well, because when they open up, they're vulnerable, and I feel vulnerable with them because they share it with me, and I feel quite privileged in a way, because you do get to play a big part in people's lives, and I'm here for it because I think it's such an important thing that you can be there for someone, but obviously you're impartial to it, so you can not give advice or put your two penny in. Not that, you can just sort of be there for somebody when they need
be
that.
the support that they need.
When they need that hour of.
They probably really appreciate that as well, because you know time is precious and energy is precious. But if this is something that they want,
so self-care is definitely a big part of why I do it, because I don't take enough self-care time for myself.
I don't think many of us do.
I should take more time for myself, but you just don't have the time between work, family life, just running here, there and everywhere. But I do try and make sure that I have some sort of me time hour.
Yeah, that's really important, and I think it's good for listeners to hear that, you know, ultimately the challenge is cost of living, because people are cutting back in certain areas. But the reality is that what's really nice is that part of your retention is making sure that you're not just a beauty therapist, not that anybody is ever just a beauty therapist, but you really want to be there for people, and that I think that will bring people back, you know, that kind of helps with that as well. So then what is the vision for Ciwticwls?
Do you know what? That's a quite a hard question, because I've got so many ideas floating about constantly. I'm in the middle of working through my educator's diplomacy at the moment, so that I can teach on this side. Technically, because I'm already a teacher, I can go ahead and do it now, but I am the type of person, if I do something, I need to do it right. So I'm in the process of working through modules with a brilliant company called the Nail Tech Org, so I will mention them, because Amy, who runs that, is just absolutely fabulous, and she's a good support. And I've met lots of people through that network as well, and like-minded people that I've never actually, I have met them in person by now, but when I met them in lockdown through Instagram, it was a really close-knit community, because obviously you've got your friends and your family and you tell them all about your plans and whatnot, but they don't relate as much in a way. But I do have plans. So education is definitely one of them, because it's a natural progression, and it's already in me because I've been teaching for the past 10 years.
That's fab.
I'd love to set up my own academy, and I'd like to make my presence a little bit more known on social media. I've got ideas to go down a few avenues there, just to try and build on my brand, really, and make it more of an encompassed brand rather than just one thing.
So big plans.
Yes, hopefully.
Well done. It's always nice to have a good plan, isn't it? Do you find though that there's any do you have a problem that you need solving, or are you quite comfortable with how things are progressing at the moment with business?
I wouldn't say I'm a numbers girl.
That's why you've got us.
That's why I know that's why I've got you. You are literally my safety blanket.
I'm taking that. But I think
the number ninja for a reason.
I think this is a real. I need to say this because you think you're not good with numbers, but actually you're much better than you realize you are. And I think it's the same with a lot of people. They think they're horrendous with numbers and finance and accounting, but
I still get the feeling like I'm winging it, even though I know I'm not. But it's just, I don't know if it's just the confidence, because you're never taught how to run a business.
No, you're right.
And I find this is a big factor that needs to be incorporated into schools, even from a primary age. And I've been teaching for the past few months, teaching year 4 and 5 about business. And where they were able to set up a business, this was before Christmas, and then create a product to sell at the Christmas fair, but they actually had to go through all the nitty-gritty of a brand, creating a logo, and doing their costings for certain products, putting their price. And so I found it really inspiring, because they were using apps like I'm using. They were using Canva to create their own logo, and
happy with that.
It was something that I got really excited about. And I loved working with the kids in school.
Again, I think this is something that we recently been in talks with Caerphilly Council about a programme that they've got, and it's something that we've been wanting to introduce for a while in school, in networks and schools across Wales. Like that, I have a grand plan to bring a programme that teaches kids about money management and running a business, because I feel like I had a lot of money troubles when I left school, because I wasn't taught how to manage budgets and things properly. And then, my parents did amazing, but it just wasn't something that had ever crossed their mind, because they were never taught. Money wasn't talked about. And then you go into the business world and you're like, sorry, what am I doing? Some people have a knack for it, absolutely. Other people are really creative and desperately want to do their idea, but have literally no idea about how to run the back end of it.
I found I was one of those. I'm a complete creative. If you give me a task to create something, like with the nails and the nail art and whatnot, my passion just sort of oozes on that side. And then when it came to the business side and keeping check of everything and what you need to send to you or this, that and the other, and making sure that you've got things there, it is there, but it's not, the confidence of it isn't there, if you understand what I mean.
I know.
I feel by now I've got much more confidence in it, and I feel like, yes, my business has established itself, it's ticking over. And it's obviously making me money, which is the goal first and foremost. But yeah, it's definitely a minefield when you start. But I'll say this hand on heart: had I have not found you, I don't know where I'd be now.
Oh,
you're so sweet.
Purely because people still look at me like I get the eyes sort of, really. If I say, who's your accountant? Somebody might tell me, and I go, it's called Middleton PA Services, and where are they from? Oh, is it Bangor? Like, no. I met them I found them on Instagram, and they go, oh, did you?
It's a brave new world out there, right?
Yeah.
And it comes to
I've never actually met them in person, and people just sort of think, oh, but it's your business, but my business is running very smoothly, thankfully to them. So yeah. And it's the world we live in. It's the world we live in now, isn't it? Because it's basically remote working. You could be living here, and your job could be in America. So
yeah, no, you're right, completely.
When I'm next in North Wales, I'm looking you up.
Yes, I know.
Again, now I'm just thinking about the creativity, because I'm a Canva girl. I love creative stuff. I love art and all that kind of thing. It must be quite satisfying to do the before and after reels that you do on your Instagram, because I love a good before and after reel.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So I'm just wondering, what do you love the most about your job? Because obviously the passion oozes out of you with some of your designs. What's your favourite thing to do?
The favourite thing to do within the salon, or what do I love most about what I do?
What do you love most about your job?
I don't feel like I'm working.
Oh, that's good. So you have fun.
I love it. I love every aspect of it. So from the minute that a client sits down and the chats that you have, maybe they'll bring a photo in for inspo, or I do have a certain client that might just sit down and just say, okay, just choose 3 colours and do whatever. Or she might just say, do what you want. So I love the freedom that it gives you in a way. But yeah, the fact that they do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That is so true, isn't it? And is there anything that you wish you had more time to do, since you love it so much?
Probably the nail art side of it, because I've gotten into the nail art a lot over the past couple of years. And during lockdown, or when lockdown first happened, I sulked. I just closed the door of my nail room and I sulked for about 3 months. And then I got back into it just slowly, and started practicing. So I'd say by now I miss the practice stage where I could just go and have a practice. Now I'm too busy to practice, which is brilliant. I'm not complaining at all.
No.
Yeah, and I'd say that's what I miss the most.
Because
I teach on a Monday, so I've still got the variation because I still go into school and I teach 1 day a week. And then I'm in the salon on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Friday, and some Saturdays. So I usually take Wednesdays off. Wednesdays is a day that I have with Kayo. So we do different things, go to baby gym. So that I get the quality time with him as well. But it's probably the balance, trying to create the balance, and the nail art.
Yeah. I think that segues nicely onto the next question, because it's all about that word balance is really important, right? So is there anything that keeps you up at night when it comes to business? Do you find that you have those sleepless nights? Are you know?
I do. It's probably my lack of structure, I'd probably say.
Okay.
Because I feel I am such a creative, and I've got all the planners going, and I do write it down, but I don't 100% follow it. So because I deviate away from it, or I go a little bit, shall we say, what's the word, spirited? Maybe just because you feel like it does take time for me to switch off a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about it.
The balance, definitely, because the minute you finish work, or the minute I finish work, because my salon is out the back, so I come in, I'll make myself a cuppa. The boys have obviously been put to bed, so Debbie's downstairs and we'll maybe watch something. And he might say, right, I'm going to bed, but I will probably still hang on just so that I can wind down a little bit more.
Yeah,
I do.
Whereas I probably just should go to bed a little bit earlier. So that's going to be one goal going forward. Just try and give myself that extra hour just to relax and go to bed.
It's a good. I think that's really important. I've started turning my phone off at 8 o'clock because I need that I need to not be distracted. Because I was reading an article today in Atlantic magazine about Winston Churchill, about how he suffered from like severe depressive episodes, to the point where he said that, you know, if he's standing by a ship, he won't even look down in the water because he knows that if he does, it only takes a second to make the wrong decision. And it was talking about how he was a workaholic. He worked 18-hour days and he had this depression, and they wondered whether him working caused the depression, when actually, in fact, he used the work as a distraction from it. But that meant he never got to switch off. So what he thought was helping him was actually only exacerbating the problem. So the more he worked, the more depressed he got, and this, that, and the other. Now, obviously, I know that depression is a completely separate conversation, but is that idea that if we don't switch off, like, are we just going to completely exacerbate the problem that we're dealing with, and ourselves as well? Burnout is a big thing for
Yeah,
business owners,
I do find I get tired. I definitely get tired.
yeah.
And I can get tired to the point where I just want to cry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I will cry or get a bit touchy, but there we go. It's just one of those things that is sort of part and parcel. But I also think having a busy family life, it's just everything, every aspect from every sort of corner is a contributing factor. So I think you've got to sort of rein everything in. But I do find trying to find that balance, and for example, having been working a lot and then we booked a couple of days away, even though it was busy, it was still just quality time with the family. And knowing that I've worked hard to be able to take my son to Anfield so that he could go around the stadium and take them out for a meal and make sure that I can provide as well, because I find that not hard, but years back when I used to work full time, I had a really good wage from teaching. And then when you dwindle your hours or you go on maternity and you take that jump in the wage, and then I remember being in the situation where I thought, oh, I don't know how I'm going to sustain so things had to change. And then having built my business up now, I feel like it's sort of getting back to how it was. And yeah, it's a good feeling, but yeah, you've got to find that balance. But I do think you work hard to play hard. So
yeah, it is. It's one of the conversations we'd had recently was about being present in the moment with your family and understanding that it is about finding. But you are right, finding balance from every aspect, not just work. Because
I cannot say that I do get that balance.
No, well, to be honest, I don't think I definitely don't. It's still something. I think that even after, my dad's been a businessman for years and years and years, and he'll kill me for saying this on a podcast, but he has no balance. He's got no balance at all. He'll be on the computer till really late, sorting out all his stuff. And I think when you're running your own business, I feel like that's a skill that has to be really learned, and it's it's not a skill, it's a discipline. You have to discipline yourself to do it, right?
I find that
again
quite hard.
In school that's not taught either, with the idea of business. So it's really important for us to communicate.
They talk a lot about entrepreneurship and like becoming your own boss, or creating a product, or for example if you choose D&T and you create a product and product design and this, that and the other. But they might do by now. You might hear the boys now that they're just getting through the door. All about the balance, but yeah, they don't teach the nitty-gritty of starting your own business, or I don't know if they do that by now in secondary. They might do, but it's something that I'd like to see if they do in the future.
That's really nice. That's really good. So that's all right.
We've got a little one here.
Pause the recording a sec. There we go. So we've just met. We just paused the recording to meet Fion's gorgeous little family. So
we got loads of waves.
Loads of waves.
Yeah, he's a little charmer.
Oh, it's stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. So I suppose again that little family interlude, it leads on. What makes you happy in life and in business?
Happy in life, my family, definitely.
Yeah.
And in business, my clients.
Yeah.
Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. And family life, you need the support around you so that you can do different things.
You're clearly a people person. I am also. I like to have
think
people around me.
You are.
I think you are.
A people person.
I can talk for days.
Yeah. So good way. You're in a good club here.
We've had the teachers in school tell us that Griff likes talking too, so he must take after his mum.
Oh, I had it in my school reports. I was told I was a chatterbox. Yeah. And so my dad actually got 8 years ago, he got me a mug, and it was Little Miss Chatterbox, from the Little Miss collection. And it's true, isn't it? It's just if you've got that.
I think it's a good trait to have anyway.
Yeah,
Better to talk than not to. My goodness.
yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of talking,
being in silence all the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of talking and communication, what type of communication, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but what kind of communication works best for you when it comes to the business? Do you prefer it to be on Instagram with direct messages? Do you prefer email, phone, face-to-face?
Probably on the socials. I don't mind
Easy access.
talking to people. Emails never really happen.
Yeah.
They do when you're corresponding with different brands or businesses or whatnot, but not clients day to day.
Yeah,
but saying that, it is something that I've thought about, because if Instagram disappears, then I have no shop window. So I've thought about generating maybe a monthly newsletter, or and incorporating educational pieces with it as well. Because if that would disappear, then I probably don't know what I do. Word of mouth again. Is a big
word of mouth is important, isn't it?
Goes back to your website though, obviously that's in development stage, but of course that becomes websites are set up to be people's shop windows, and from websites you can create mail, you can set up a mailing list, you can do lead magnets to build on that, so that you gain that client list, right? And that you can use a mailing list if needs be. I think it's interesting though, isn't it? Because emails generally are business to business, whereas when it comes to business to consumer, it's like, well, it's a completely different type of communication that we tend to use.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very good.
The emails sort of makes you feel a bit more formal, whereas everything else becomes informal, or even if a client wants a chat, or I've always said like a FaceTime, or I'm one of those people. I'm open to getting to know your clients is quite important, because you work with people for different reasons. And for example, I had one that came to me, and she won't mind me saying this. She had no nails, and she wanted extensions, and I said, I physically cannot give you extensions, because I would be placing a product on your skin, and I will not do that. My training and my profession has taught me how to actually apply different products, and with the science side of it, you wouldn't do that, because you're opening yourself up to so many allergies and whatnot that would come with it. I gave her a plan. I sent her away with cuticle oil, and I said, you need to use it every single day, twice a day. She came back about 6 weeks after. She had the tiniest nail beds ever, sorry. And we started her on a growth journey with Builder, and by now she's got lovely nails that are probably the same size as mine now. So it's a success story in itself. So
so that answers the next question really nicely, because of that successful client supplier relationship, in that you giving honest and professional advice to your clients to make sure that their nails stay in the best health, essentially then means that what you've done is you've set this lady up now so that she can have amazing nails, because you were willing to take the time to give her something so that she could have that more permanence and not get sick, or not subject herself to infection or anything.
Because there's no point in me taking somebody's money for the sake of taking somebody's money. I wouldn't do that. It's not in my nature. But I've helped her in a way that she says it now when she gets her nails done now, and by the time that the finished product is on her nails, she just laughs, because she's like, I never thought I'd get this. And she also said that the simplest thing, like going out for a meal and she ordered a burger, she said that's something I would never ever do, because she hated showing her nails. She hated showing her hands.
Yeah, I can understand that. I get that.
To think that it's just like a tiny thing of having a burger, which doesn't sort of maybe come into it for anybody else, but to her it was a major thing. So knowing that I can help people in different ways, it's a good satisfaction.
I can imagine that she's extremely grateful too. I mean, we'd be so thankful, especially if you feel any bit embarrassed or or low self-esteem or anything like that. It's such a fantastic thing to have a cheerleader.
It plays a big part in it because, yeah, you think you're painting a set of nails, you're putting colour on nails. It's not rocket science. But everything that comes with it and the experience that you've got and the knowledge that you can pass on to them, for example, not placing product on skin and this, that and the other, and knowing why somebody comes in with ridges on this side or something on their nails, and when you wouldn't do a treatment, you've got to be knowledgeable about what you're doing. Yeah. And I think to do that, you've got to have a passion for it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And then the communication that you had and how clear you were with your client would make that a successful client relationship.
I asked her from the get-go. I said, I can check in with you every week to see how you're doing, only if you want that, because that could, to some people, be, what does this one want?
Stalkerish.
This one's messaging me again. To which I did. And then by now, I message her in between sets now, but it's not a case of, are you doing okay, and this, that, and the other. So it's a different,
That's lovely.
Hey, that's brilliant.
Way more personal, isn't it?
Yes, you've got to tailor your services to a personal level, because you deal with somebody today and you might deal with a completely different scenario tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then walking out with a set of nails and feeling $1 million makes the world a difference to their situations.
Do you go home like beaming because you've helped so many people in the day?
Yes, definitely.
Like on cloud 9. I could imagine you would. Yeah.
I get some days where I come in thinking, I could have done that better, because I'm my own worst critic ever. But I get some days where I walk in and I just want to show Debbie, like, look what I created. Watch this reel.
Yeah, I'd be totally amazing. Like that. So that pretty much answers the bit about how do you manage your clients, really, doesn't it? The question that we were going to ask was, how do you manage your clients? But clearly you manage them really well, because you keep in contact with people and you check up and you see if they're okay. And that's a really lovely quality.
Sometimes I forget also, but it's
we all do. It's imperfection. We're human.
Life gets in the way
all the time. That's just how it works. So a completely selfish question now, right? Yeah. And you kind of answered this earlier, to be honest. What's the single most important benefit you get from us at MPAS above anything else?
Oh, the single thing?
Yeah.
Confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely confidence, because when I look back to when I actually met you the first time on Zoom, I'm sure I was a bag of nerves.
I thought, I did think you're a confident person. I mean, you have to do something I would never do, and get in front of school children and teach,
A lot of people, I had this conversation with somebody not long ago, with one of the girls from the nail tech course, where we had to list our own attributes and what we thought about ourselves. And she said to me, I think you come across really confident. And I think I am confident, but I think I lack in believing in myself.
Okay.
So, Griff?
I think many of us could relate to that, in different aspects in life. And where we might be dwelling on our weaknesses, what we really need to do is dwell on our strengths and allow someone else who that has that strength to take that on board, which is what you've done with us, because our number ninja's on it, So that is really
no pressure
good.
Or anything. No.
Yeah, no pressure.
But I think it is about putting the right people around you to help make sure that your business continues, and even if you're going through difficulties within business, or you're having an issue with someone, or you need to have that support network to keep you going. And so I'm very glad that we can give you that confidence. That makes me so happy. That really makes me happy.
So if you and your business needed extra help with your accounts, do you feel comfortable approaching us at MPAS?
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not scary, am I?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Good. Oh, good. Because this is part of what we're trying to make people aware of, and clients to feel we are very approachable people. We're so down to earth. We've got families of our own. We've got pets. We've got busy lives of our own as well. So we really appreciate what everyone has to go through, but we really do want to help people with the skill set that we have as a team. We want to be able to assist clients like you in what you do best. So it's just such a nice feeling to know that you're comfortable, that you're happy to, if you've got a question about tax, or you've got a question about some allowances or expenses that you've got that you're not sure if they're allowable or not, absolutely, just fire them our way, we'll tell you.
It's always better to ask, because I feel I don't have that knowledge, so it's better to speak to you that do have that knowledge, and
sometimes it's not always understandable online or anything, you know, like sometimes you could be literally trawling through all these sources, whereas we may already have the answer for you, or we may have already done our research, or we can go away and do our research and get the accurate information for you.
Definitely. And having like our last meeting, Jess, when we were talking about different things that we could do within the salon and whatnot, and it's just like the ideas that I can get from somebody else as well, because I've got a lot of ideas going about, but they're all to do with the actual day-to-day running of the business, not the behind the scenes of the business in a way.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need to say, Griff is, for those who can't see, Griff is Fion's son, and he's got his teddy bear. What's the teddy bear called? Billy. Hey, well, Billy is now pod famous, as we're calling it.
There's a bookcase called that, isn't there?
Bookcase, Billy Bear.
Oh.
So we can everybody. Billy's giving everybody a wave, which is lovely.
You're gonna be.
I love it.
There we go.
Well, would you believe
smile on his face?
Billy's here for the last question that we've got for you, and it's just for fun, so you can relax now. But this is a question that, well, you know, it might change from day to day, but just for fun, what chore do you absolutely hate doing?
Cleaning. Didn't even have to think about that one.
No. Some people love that. They just
yeah, some people do, and I'm very happy for them to come to my house and do it.
I love watching things like Stacey Solomon Sort Your Life Out.
Oh, me too. I love
it.
We've been watching that together, haven't we?
Yeah, I've watched all of them so far. Yeah, I love them.
Wow.
But we watch it, but we don't do much sorting.
No, well, I have been doing it because I actually inherited my mum's things after she passed away, and then I inherited my granddad's things when he passed away, and that's all in the last 6 years. So I'm you know, I've had to really pull my socks off and try and declutter and get that thing done so that I can actually clean regularly and happily without having so much stuff. And it is one of those things that it takes ages, and you've got to have that motivation. And I love things like Sort Your Life Out, because that gives me that little spur to just do a drawer, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mind the cleaning so much. I don't have the time or the energy for it all the time, but I don't mind that so much. It's ironing. I hate.
Yeah, I don't iron.
Hate ironing. So basically, if I don't have to iron, I won't. And I only do it for a special occasion, like a funeral, a wedding. I think that's pretty much it.
if you
really need to do it, No, I'm not.
And let's face it, I do try and find the easy iron stuff in the shop.
Do I have to
send this right
here? Release a spray.
Yeah. Or just hang it up in the bathroom while you're having a shower, for goodness sakes, and it's self-cleaning, right?
That's all. Put it in the tumble.
Yeah.
So Jess, just out of interest, Jess, what's the chore that you hate the most?
I don't hate cleaning. I actually procrastinate, but I don't hate cleaning. What do I hate?
Procrastinate.
What do I hate doing the most? I don't know, actually. Probably emptying the dishwasher.
No way, my son hates that.
I feel like it's a chore that I hated as a kid, and
but it's all clean and fine. I know,
that. But it's more, it's just the effort that goes into having to.
I really don't mind that.
I do. It's, you know.
I hate washing up. I don't like washing up.
Oh no, well, Luke does that. I do the cooking. He does the washing up. People, when I say that to people, they're like, "That's a bit 1950s, isn't it?" And I was like, I enjoy the cooking, and he doesn't. So he washes up. I do the cooking and use every possible pot.
When you get the time to do it, it's okay. But I do find like tea's always rushed at the moment.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Or when you get things like HelloFresh or Gusto, I like that.
Oh yes, I've done them as well.
They are great. It's true.
They are.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
It's been lovely.
Thank
you. What we got now?
Thanks for your participation, Sunshine. That's lovely.
Oh, it looks like Shaun the Sheep.
Another friend.
We've got another friend now, haven't we?
Hey.
This is Ewan, the dream sheep.
Oh,
That's what he's called. But what's his name?
dream sheep. Griff is showing us the dream sheep.
I
Well,
love
that's
it.
brilliant. We are so delighted that you have come on board and given us a little insight into your life, into your business. And it's so lovely to hear the passion as well, because
It's lovely.
that's what we're all here for, isn't it? And it's just so good to be able to chat it through. And yeah, like I said, anytime you've got any questions, they're never silly. As Jess always tells me,
always
not a silly question. So
it's a stupid question, except the question you don't ask.
yeah,
That's the motto.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Exactly.
So
thank you very much for your time.
And,
no worries. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you.